One of the biggest upsets that we've seen in a fight that really shouldn't have gone the way it went in many people's eyes, myself included. But it went completely one-sided domination on the side of Ryan Garcia, and he beat Devin Haney, not for the title, but for one of the biggest achievements of his career, one of the biggest wins of his career. When everybody doubted him, when everybody said he couldn't do it, when everybody said he was crazy, he was delusional, he was ridiculous, he was going off the rocker, I said that he wouldn't be able to win. And I was dead wrong. I'm dead wrong. I'll be first to say it. I was completely wrong on this fight. This went completely opposite of what we thought Ryan Garcia would be able to do. Right from the jump, Devin Haney being the defensive slicker that we know that he can be, but he couldn't calibrate. He could not match nor get used to the timing and the speed that we were seeing from Ryan Garcia, one of the purest boxers in the game, not being able to get himself calibrated to what was coming at him from somebody that was on paper, seemingly not even on paper, just as a whole, not on his level as a fundamental boxer, as a technique savant. It wasn't the same, but it didn't matter. He hurt him and he caught him. He was putting in work. He put in serious work in that first round. And then I thought, oh my gosh, it could actually end. Somehow Devin Haney gets out of it. Then from round 2 to about round 5, we were seeing Devin Haney then get back on his jab. It took some time for him to recover. But after that first flurry of Ryan Garcia, we saw Devin Haney get back on his jab, start scoring to the head, and then really going to the body. Jabbing to the body as the safest means to be able to avoid that check hook again and the outright power that we saw from Ryan Garcia. But then again, after round 5 or round 6, we saw Ryan Garcia knock him down again. This time hurt him real bad. He was falling over his own feet after clinching to the point that I said, maybe we need to start deducting a point from Devin Haney. Yes, we know he's trying to clinch to survive, but he's going even to that point excessively. Referees were incredibly questionable in this fight, I'll have to say, due to the leniency that they were giving Devin Haney in this fight and the willingness to essentially stop the action in the middle of when somebody's getting hurt. Devin Haney really never recovered, especially after that second knockdown. He turned and couldn't do anything. It was nothing that he could do against Ryan Garcia, which is something I never thought I would ever say. Haney kept getting hurt or stunned all night long, got knocked down again in the 10th and in the 11th, and Ryan Garcia really could have ended this fight at any point in time. And that is the only thing I didn't like about this whole night. Despite everything that we saw from Ryan Garcia, the only qualm I have was the fact that when he could have went and gotten more aggressive, he then stayed back and chose to bounce around the ring. When he could have kept that aggression going, kept the heat on him, and eventually got the ref to stop the fight and or knock him out completely, with how much he was easily able to hurt Devin Haney. But outside of that, it was so shocking, but so incredible to see with Ryan Garcia doing this against somebody that nobody thought he would be able to beat, myself included. Devin Haney won the boxing match, but Ryan Garcia won the fight. And I say that with that type of distinction because after Devin Haney got hurt, and from rounds 2 to about round 5 or 6, Devin Haney didn't look like he was getting back in control, recovering and using his jab and the slickness and the pot-shotting perfection that we know Devin Haney to have at his disposal, with him using his length and range to be able to jab Ryan Garcia, especially to the body. But then, once he got back on the aggressive side and went from boxing into turning it into a fight, that's when he was having the most success. And there was nothing Devin Haney could do. He couldn't keep him off him. He couldn't slip or duck under every hook that he was throwing. What won the day for Ryan Garcia, really, when he turned this into a fight, was the biggest thing I've been waiting for him to use his entire career. And that was the right hand and straight punches. This brother finally used his jab and his straight effectively. We had seen Ryan Garcia hurt Tank with that same straight right hand in their fight. But he didn't use it as often. He used more so the left hook more than anything. So reliant. He was still reliant on the left hook in this fight, but he mixed it up with straight punches to close the distance. and get those combinations rolling so that when you do land the left hook, boom, it becomes unavoidable. It was great, and he was able to wobble him to set up the left hook with the right hand in the first place. That straight right hand of Ryan Garcia's can be one of the biggest assets to him as a boxer if he utilizes it more instead of being overly reliant on having that check hook alone. Not saying that he doesn't need to not use it, but if he uses that right hand to set it up more often, performances like these will come at a more rapid pace. Absolutely. The right hand is the second best weapon in his arsenal. It just fumes me that he doesn't use it as much as he should. But in this fight, he did it. He did it in sublime fashion. Had Devin Haney rocked, and we knew Devin Haney could get hurt. We had seen him hurt against Jorge Linares. We saw him get stunned against Lomachenko. Smaller opponents with not nearly as much power as Ryan Garcia. We knew this was a possibility. Just a matter of whether or not Ryan Garcia would be able to get the game plan necessary. And what is seemingly, when I say this with respect, seemingly rudimentary technical ability, would it be in any way, shape, or form able to compete against somebody who is such a savant as Devin Haney? But when you turn it into a fight and you make a technical boxer have to go into a slugfest, especially when you can outmatch him physically, now you can turn this into your favor. I mean, that's exactly what Ryan Garcia did to Devin Haney. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And it brings us a real, like I said earlier, when it came to the potential of Ryan Garcia, this was a pound-for-pound fighter in charge of Devin Haney. This was an undisputed champion who seemingly was going to be the biggest test against somebody like a Gervonta Tank Davis, who had beaten Ryan Garcia, a proven athlete, a proven champion, who had been taking on major fights, like with Lomachenko, and again taking on Ryan Garcia in this fight. We knew what Devin Haney was about. And for Ryan Garcia to go and steamroll him like he did, how we look at Ryan Garcia now. We don't look at him, we can't look at him the same. We can't. This man beat who I thought was the best at 140. After Devin Haney did something to reach his progress that nobody was able to do to reach his progress. This is what we see with Ryan Garcia as a talent. This is the potential I've been wanting to see from Ryan Garcia. This is where we can see him elevate to. Yes, he's not the greatest technical boxer. Yes, we know that he's not the best in terms of having the fundamentals of boxing down. But now that we've seen him at this stage do this against somebody that dominant in terms of Devin Haney, somebody who's been undisputed champion, like I said earlier, we have to give props. There is something there. There's something there. And it is maximizing what you are good at. Maximize your best attributes. And that's what we saw Ryan Garcia do against Devin Haney.